Going to be an interesting day today. I didn't do a recap last night because I was tired. Wah. And I'll do the recap this morning. The recap might take about 90 minutes because there's twice as many games as usual since they played all the matches yesterday instead of just two. Hello in YouTube land. If you'd like to watch these streams live, instead of watching on YouTube, it's twitch.tv/GM Benjamin Feingold. There's information in the video which tells you how to watch and how to buy merchandise and how to donate and how to spin in a circle and stuff like that. If you like more instructive videos where I'm just teaching and being slightly less silly, you can go to our Chess Center's YouTube page, the CCSCATL. This YouTube page at the moment has about 56,000 subscribers, and the one for the Chess Center has about 46,000. Those videos actually get more views because they're more instructive. It's just teaching. These have some silliness. It's almost 8 in the morning where I am. If you're in Europe, it's at a very reasonable time, 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon. And I'm going to go over the games from yesterday, as it says in the name of the video, the Round 7 recap. This was the only round where all of the players played at once. Today at 10 a.m., which is in about 2 hours, we have the first semifinal match between Caruana and Nakamura. And then tomorrow, we have the other semifinal match, Carlsen Ding. And then May 3rd, we have the finals. I asked on Twitter if there was a third place match, since I assumed incorrectly that third and fourth had different prize money, but they don't. I didn't see anywhere there was a third place match because there's not. So whoever loses the matches the next 2 days in the semifinals, they both get $30,000 because it doesn't matter who's third or fourth. It's the same amount of money. Yeah. So today we're going to see one match instead of the 4 matches we saw yesterday. And the match format is slightly different, very slightly different. If it's tied at 2 after 4 games, previously they played Armageddon. They don't do that now. They play 5-minute plus 3-second increment. They play 2 games. If it's 1-1, they do it again. Then if it's 1-1, then they play Armageddon. So today at 10 a.m., when they start the semifinal, there's actually 4 possibilities. We could see 4 games, 6 games, 8 games, or 9 games. The only way we're going to see 9 games is if it's tied after 4, 6, or 8. If anybody's ahead after 4, 6, or 8, it's over. So we might see a lot of chess today, even though there's only one match. Yeah. Today is Nakamura versus Caruana. People are showing up now on Twitch, so you on YouTube are confused because you already heard this. But, you guys are confused anyway. So let me refresh so I can get a good count. So it's funny, yesterday had the most matches, and Magnus was playing and such, and that was the worst day for donations and bits and cheers and stuff and subs. That had all the games, and it had Armageddons, and it had everybody. It had... Ding Carlsen had all decisive games, and Nepomniachtchi and Firouzja had all decisive games. So that was a crazy day yesterday. 100 Centidues is correct. Hello. Upcoming events on this channel. And when I say this channel, I mean Twitch, but it'll go to YouTube eventually. On May 4th, which is pretty soon, I'm playing a match at 4 p.m. Eastern with Eric Rosen, sponsored match. And if you ever want to sponsor events on our channel, just ask Karen. And on May 9th, we're having a big tournament. We expect about 25 title players, 1,000 players overall. It's in 5 sections. And that's on May 9th at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's a 10-minute tournament, no increment, no delay, no nothing. 7 rounds. So it's like our last tournament, except it's 10-minute instead of 10-2. There's 5 sections instead of 4. And the prizes are about 6 times as much. Otherwise, it's the same. Yeah. Yay, 1 cent to do. Again, asking questions to me about what's going to happen in July, August, and September, we don't know. I don't know what the world's going to look like then. So, if I was a betting man, I don't think we're going to be open in August, but I don't know. We might be open in June. So, yeah. Yay, 6 times the cheating is correct. It's going to take us at least, last tournament had 3 sections, and now we have 5. Kieran's right. Yeah, that's right. So we're going from 3 to 5 sections, not 4 to 5. We're not going to pay any prizes until several days after the tournament. Once we have chess.com check all the accounts, we're going to check all the accounts, and we're going to get an outside place to check, like the FBI, CIA, NSA, and probably several people will be arrested, but we're still going to have the tournament. Exactly. Now, a lot of you showed up late because you don't show up early because there's something wrong with you. As I said when the stream started, but you weren't here yet, today is slightly different. If the match is tied at 2, what they did previously is they had an Armageddon game. Today, if it's tied at 2, they're going to play 2 Blitz games. If the Blitz games are tied after 2 games, they're going to play 2 more Blitz games. If those are tied, then they play an Armageddon. So at 10 a.m., when we see Hikaru play Fabiano, they're either going to play 4, 6, 8, or 9 games. We don't know yet. One of them. Yeah, Georgia's not open. No state is open. You have to know what the word open means. Yeah. Nobody can do anything. But obviously, it is irrelevant whether states are open or not. That doesn't affect whether we're going to be open. We closed down before anybody. We closed before Charlotte. We closed before St. Louis because we don't want all of us to die. So far, none of us have died. I guess we're going to die eventually, but hopefully in 30 or 40 years, as they said on Family Guy. Usually after dinner, we live another 30 or 40 years. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know when we're going to be open again, probably in 2021, and I'm hoping we're open before that, but, you know, if everybody in our chess center dies, then we're going to lose customers. Terrible. Yeah. I would like to buy your rock. That's specious reasoning. All right. Now, unfortunately, the reason I'm starting so early, I didn't feel like doing it last night because we were exhausted. I mean, Kieran and I went to bed at 9. So, and then yesterday, all the matches were played and 2 Armageddons. So we have 18 games to look at. So I'm going to peruse the games, but I'm not going to do a detailed analysis like I usually do. We're just going to skip to the interesting parts. I can't do a detailed analysis of 18 games, especially when they're rapid and blitz. Yay, it's the hype train. All right, when the hype train ends, then we can start the analysis. 500 centidues, 100 for every hour of sleep I'm not getting. That is correct. Yeah. It's funny how dumb Elon Musk is. I've been saying for like a year on this channel how stupid Elon Musk is. Then you guys were like on your knees praying to him, being like, what? But he said, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago that it was a hoax and there would be 0 cases. So, yeah. Now, obviously, he's a lunatic, but yeah, you guys love him. So he said we have to reopen America after he said there'll be 0 cases. He said, 1 million cases, whatever. Let's reopen America and everybody can die. Anyway, it doesn't really matter what he says since he has no, yeah, billionaires do have an unusual look on life. What happens is people who are good at one thing, sometimes they think or other people think that they're good at everything. You know, like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Elon Musk, Bill Gates. They do one thing good in life, then they're like, oh, let me do Kasparov. Now I'm going to do these other 30 things. Yeah, Nakamura. I've been told, I can't believe it's true. I mean, if it's true, I guess it's true. You guys voted for Trump. People are taking financial advice from Nakamura. God damn. That is you can't, then you're like, oh, I lost all my money. I can't donate. What? Taking financial advice from Nakamura. What's wrong with you? All right. So, no, H3 is not explosive. Boo, boo. Yeah, that's right. That is correct. Everybody's a con man. The earlier you learn that in life, the better you're going to do. Now, give me money for the scam train. Do it. Yeah. Oh, he's worth 45 million. I guess he's a genius. I think Trump's worth more than 45 million. Maybe you get dumber as you get more money. No. There you go. The dart does a good job. They've proven through many iterations that throwing a dart is as good as anything you can do. There's nothing wrong with throwing a dart. That is fine. Casper subscribed. That's right. The more you subscribe, the more money I have. That is correct. Yeah. Fire 261 wants a gift sub. Somebody give it to him before I do. Somebody give Fire a gift sub. 10 seconds until I do it. Yeah. Nakamura's worth, maybe 200,000, maybe. Yeah. Anybody? Can I donate a bishop? Maybe. Anything? No? Nobody's going to give Fire a gift sub? Man, you guys are the worst. Let's see. Yay, 500 centidues. All right. You guys are the worst. I can't believe I had to do it. No, Buzzard Bait did it. Well, I'm not eligible to make this purchase. Wait, what? I'm not eligible to make this purchase. What does that mean? I tried to give you a gift sub that somebody else did, and it said I wasn't able to do it. Is that because somebody already did it? Not able to give a gift sub? What? Why not? If somebody gives you a sub, somebody else can't gift you a sub? No, it could be because somebody did it right before I did it. They were quicker than me. I wonder if that's why. I hope that's why. Yeah. Try again on me. Well, the way you spelled again and you didn't say raw and you didn't beg. Yeah, come on. Let's see. I need a sub. Twitch thinks you're only 9 years old. What's this say? This says that I did it. This says you paid $4.99. What? PayPal says that I did gift a sub, and Twitch says I did not. Clap, 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 clap. I guess I paid $4.99 for nothing. Yeah, that's funny. What? I got a notification saying I just paid. Actually, that could be a coincidence. It could be like to Karen's channel. That seems like a really unlikely coincidence that it happened the same second. Very suspicious. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he did get me. You paid $4.99, but you can't do it. It's the scam train, actual scam. Is Naroditsky better than Ali Reza? God damn. The answer is fries. Naroditsky FIDE is about 100 points worse. I'm guessing at every time control and over the board chess and everything, Ali Reza is better. That's my guess. I can't imagine Naroditsky's better at anything than Ali Reza. It's possible he's better at 1 minute or 30 seconds, but I doubt it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about slow chess, Ali Reza is a lot better. But if you're talking about like 1 minute on the internet, maybe he's close. Is Nowitzki better than Duncan? Ooh, that's a good question. I'm going to go with Tim Duncan, but it's really close. I mean, Nowitzki had like a 3-point shot and he's 8 feet tall. Before that was common. I mean, they're both really good. So, yeah. Smashing their keyboard, Naroditsky's better at smashing his keyboard and his mouse. Yeah. Duncan's better on defense, that's for sure. Yeah. Hans is the best at throwing tantrums? Better than Naroditsky? Wow. You know, throwing tantrums, that's like the number one, like that's the toughest to be the best at. Because all those guys throw tantrums. Yeah. I can't imitate Yasser, but the hype train is slowing down. If we get to level 5, then I'll do a lot of Yasser imitation. Naka said Amon plays like a weak IM. That's incorrect. Amon is like an average to strong IM. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, is Amon a GM now? Is it Amon a GM? Yeah. No, Amon doesn't play like a weak IM. That's just Hikaru being silly. Hikaru doesn't really know the difference between a weak IM, an average IM, and a strong IM because he beats them all 10-0. So to him, that's like me saying, I think that guy's 900 and that guy's 1100 and that guy's 1300. Like, how do I know? Come on. Is the Gedmator better than anyone? There's people, I don't know how good they are, like Mado Yelich, and there's another guy. He might be better than him. I don't know how good they are. Froggen's about 1400, I think. Yeah, he might be better than Mado Yelich, whoever that is. I've heard you guys talk about him, but I don't know who that is. I don't know if he does Twitch or YouTube or something. I don't know. There's somebody else who's like 1900 that is a famous streamer, but or YouTuber. I don't know. Yeah, what's Mado's rating? Is he like 1900? Man, you guys didn't do the hype train. So, what's your criteria needed for WFM? I mean, if you know En Passant and Castle Kingside and you're learning Queenside castling, that should be about right. Yeah. Yeah. I'll never analyze the game. Never. Scam train failed. Boo. Okay. Let's analyze the games. The train is over. Okay. Now this is going to be a cursory analysis of the games because there's 18 games. So, leave me alone. A British WFM. God damn. All right. It's like an oxymoron. Okay. So, Magnus played quite badly this match, and he also played badly the previous two matches. So I don't know what's going on with him. But okay, he played Nimizovic defense, and then he transposed into a Scandinavian. So like 2 losing openings at once. God damn. Thanks, Jay McGrath. Okay. This is a very, very sharp line for black that's pretty bad. Castling queenside. Yeah, it's very dangerous. All right. And, black's basically losing out of the opening. The king is too exposed. This king has a safe haven. This is no good. This is no good. The black's moving his queen a lot. I don't know what he's doing. All right. So this is just Magnus being silly. The thing is, Magnus can be silly against a lot of people, and Magnus is playing a lot on chess 24 and Lee chess. But, Dingler, and it's sort of insulting to the world of chess. Like, can you imagine, let's take some good world champions, Fischer, Kasparov, Karpov, pretty good. Can you imagine them just being silly in a tournament with huge prizes that has their name on it? So you can argue, which the Magnus fanboys do, that Magnus is just being silly, but that's really an insult to chess. Like, he's having this tournament with the top players in the world with a huge prize fund with his name on it, and he's not trying. That doesn't make any sense. So, he just plays bad. What are you going to do? I mean, saying he's the best player ever lived is just ridiculous. To me, he was like 5th or 6th, but now he's going down. So, all right. E6, castles. And in this position, when I was looking at the game live, the engine wanted to play King D7, one of Magnus's favorite moves. But he played King B7, which didn't work because this rook can just go to B3, so that doesn't really help. And he was afraid of rook G5, that's why he played H6. All right, so he just got totally rolled up. This game wasn't so interesting. Yeah, queen takes here and queen takes here are both terrible. Now knight here is winning. And, all right. And the game was just sort of silly. Magnus playing very badly. Always play king b1. And then he played rook f8, then he resigned. Every move wins, but this is mate in 5. Okay, so that was Magnus playing very badly, playing a bad opening, not taking the match seriously. All right. Next game, Magnus also played an unusual opening. In this position, he played f4. However, that was the only unusual move he played this game. Otherwise, he played pretty well. There's a very interesting line where black sacrifices a pawn. So it's sort of like a Scandinavian with c5 and f4. So, okay, but Dingler played g6. And this was all very reasonable play. Game was really interesting. Black had no problem out of the opening, obviously, just completely equal. Right. Now, this position is sort of strategical, positional, not super exciting, and that's where Magnus shines. When it's really tricky and there's a lot of tactics and the position makes very little sense, that's where like Nakamura, Nepomniachtchi, and Ding are good. So this position plays to Magnus's strengths, where he's just like slowly trying to build up an advantage. Of course, he's not better here, but all right. And yeah, in this position, after queen b8, e5, knight e5 is good. Okay, so they got this position. This reminds me of a game that I lost to Alyssa Melakina. So I've played Alyssa Melakina twice. First time I played her was in a round robin in Chicago. And I was winning the tournament. I was the highest rated player. She was the lowest rated player. I was in first place. She was in last place. And I was +4. I was winning. And then I made 40 blunders in a row and I lost. Then I played her again in St. Louis. And on move like 4, 3, she made a bad move with white. And I was like, I'm going to show her. And I played way too aggressively and I lost. So from 2 good positions, I have 0. And that's what happened in this position. Magnus played really badly in the first game. Magnus has played badly this whole tournament. And so Ding thought, okay, now it's time to show Magnus who the boss is. And he played really aggressively, and it was not necessary. So in this position, everything is equal. You let the engine sit for a while. All moves are equal, including the move that he played. Okay, and now he went into a big think, and he sacrificed the exchange, which I like, because I like sacrificing the exchange, but that was unnecessary. He could have moved his rook. Sacrificing the exchange is okay. Could also take with the pawn, but he played knight takes f4. Super aggressive move. Not terrible. Rook e1. And then black's fine here, but the rest of the game, he got totally outplayed. And his next 2 moves are both bad. G5 is unnecessary. Since this bishop is a really good bishop, this is the time to play knight e7. And then put the knight on f5, possibly d5, but f5, I think. And black's fine there. You could also play bishop g7, defending this pawn some more. But he played g5, which is really uncalled for. Okay, now it's easy to see why Magnus won. Magnus played my favorite move in this position, and then Ding played my least favorite move. So now you know who won. Frankly, ridiculous. Bishop f1. You could also just take this, but okay, bishop f1. Now this pawn is under siege. And then he played f6. All right. And these moves haven't helped black at all. They just weakened his king. Queen f2 I like. Knight e7, reasonable. Knight fd2 is good. These moves are all good. Knight f5, the engine doesn't like so much. Knight e4. And here, problem with black's position is when you sack the exchange, you would like your minor pieces to be better than the rook. And unfortunately, this bishop doesn't do anything. And this rook is going to infiltrate on the A file, which is going to be unstoppable pretty soon. And white's knights are obviously very good. And white's bishop's on f1, defending the g2 pawn. And after queen d8, Magnus played the excellent queen b6, which wants to trade queens, attacks the bishop, attacks this pawn. And with the queens are off the board, the rook can really get in here. And yeah, black doesn't have enough compensation here. So he lost pretty badly. Yeah, here comes the rook. In the end game, the rook is a lot better than a minor piece. And in the opening and middle game, it's not. But in the end game, it is. So this is just lost for black because he has no attack and the rook is crushing him. Frankly, terrible. G3, forking the knights. F5, playing for confusion, but that hangs E5. C4, and the bishop is trapped. The knights are hanging. And okay, the engine says +5. So very good game from Magnus, very bad game from Ding. And it reminded me, of when my opponent doesn't play well and I'm too eager to punish them, and then goes badly. Okay. You would expect occasionally the world champion would win a game. He does occasionally. Okay. And the next game, all right. If you didn't see what happened here, or you forgot, it's very likely you forgot. Very likely. But some of you haven't seen what he did here. Another insult to chess. Frankly, terrible. Exactly, McGrath. Do you guys remember what he did here? Well, Ralph Wiggum remembers. Petritz Fromm remembers. Yeah. Frankly, terrible. H5. What? What's going on? All right, so Magnus played H5. Greatest player who ever lived. All right, I don't understand H3, but okay, I guess it doesn't matter. H5 is so bad. Okay, so they got some kind of C3 Sicilian position. He sacrifices a pawn, which, I guess with H5 you can just do whatever you want. And they got a very, very sharp position. Very sharp. And here, Magnus thought forever. Okay, and after takes, here, he played bishop d6, which is correct. And after rook takes, Magnus blundered. And he made a move which is quite bad. Actually, the right move is to castle. And then this is all pinned, and f6 wins all the pieces. And the engine says it's equal, which I talked about on the stream, but Magnus just took back. And I mean, this looks like Morphy versus Doofus, right? Bishop a3. This looks like all of Morphy's games. Sacks an exchange, spots the guy a rook, and then just runs him over. During the game, I was thinking this, but I didn't say it. But I'll say it now. This position reminds me of the famous Blitz game between Wesley So and Garry Kasparov, which was played in St. Louis. And when the game ended, Sarah once said, this was the greatest Blitz game ever played. And Kasparov said, this was like Morphy versus amateur, and I was the amateur. Okay, that game was played a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And that's what I was thinking of here. Like, Magnus is just getting run over. Like, what's he doing? Why? He thought forever and went into this. Like, no judgment. Frankly, terrible. Yeah. Yeah, I know why he played H3. He's just stupid. All right. Okay. Now, here, Magnus played a very bad move. Terrible. Now, again, I've said this on the stream before. When Magnus plays slow chess, he's always equal or better. Always. The engine says, yay, Magnus. When Magnus plays bullet and blitz and rapid, he's not always better. And Magnus is not very good when his position is bad. And that's because he has very little experience with that. It's sort of funny. Conversely, I'm always losing, so I got no problem. Okay, when I'm losing, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Okay, so in this position, Magnus made a nonsensical losing move when he's got to get out of there. He's got to play bishop c6 to thwart this bishop. Got to play king c8 to get out of there. Bishop d5 to block the d file and defend the e pawn. All these moves are reasonable, but he played a6. Ridiculous. Okay, and now Ding missed a very easy win, but he played another win. But this wins more. Knight takes, forking the king and queen. He didn't do that. Takes, queen takes, and now rook d1 is coming. And you will know his name is the Lord when he puts his vengeance upon him. And the engine says white is plus 14. And when the engine thinks more, it'll say some higher number. And this is Morphe doofus. Okay, but Ding didn't do that. He played rook d1, which is also winning. Okay. I mean, it didn't matter. He's just running him over. Yeah. All right. And Magnus had no pieces left at the end. Man, the truth hurts. Okay, check. Notice how it's check. Notice how that's check. And notice how the rook is hanging. You know, I remember Fischer, Kasparov, Karpov, Capablanca, Kramnik. They lost a lot of games where they lost all their pieces. Maybe Magnus is the greatest. Okay, next game. So Magnus is in a must-win situation. He's down 2-1, plays the King's Gambit. Now this is funny because one of the things this gives you is Ding never faces the King's Gambit because Ding's used to playing strong players. So he probably has like one thing that he does if it ever happens, and then he does it. So probably if Ding faces the King's Gambit in the next year in a slow game, he'll probably play the same way. This is like what he does. He wouldn't just make something up when he's up 2-1. He's going to try to win the match. So he takes and plays knight f6. Now, Yasser Seirawan used to play knight e7, knight g6 with the same idea defending this pawn. But he played knight f6, knight h5. So you're defending the f pawn, but you're deciding where the knight goes. And Ding did this very quickly, so this must be like his prep against the King's Gambit. Okay, so white's down a pawn for like no compensation. So he didn't last very long. And he's just getting totally crushed. Black's play was excellent this game. Very good play by Black. Threatening the rook. Threatening the other rook. Right. Now in this position, as I was doing the live commentary, I noted the engine said bishop h4 was the only winning move. And I was like, I don't know, that's a hard move to find. Like you could take this, you can take this, you can take this. It's weird to like defend your pawn when it's already attacked. And he played bishop h4. I mean, Ding Liren's no joke. Yeah, and now white's completely lost. I mean, that's an excellent pawn. So, yeah, and the idea is we're going to play rook takes e5. We're getting all of our pieces into the game, and everything's hanging. I mean, just excellent play by Ding Liren. All right. Rook e8's the best move. Check is great. So he has a mating on e1. And here Magnus resigned. Now, when Magnus resigned, I think he missed the best line for white. If he doesn't play the best line, resigns is correct. But the best line is takes, bishop e2. And now you can still resign, but he might not because Black's only +3, and Black's been +3 for a while. But now maybe you could win this pawn and just be completely lost. So, resigning wasn't absolutely necessary, but okay, he had enough. And probably he didn't see bishop e2, which is a weird move. Like playing so defensively. But yeah, I mean, white just got run over that game. Again, Magnus isn't very good when the positions are weird and he doesn't know them. When the positions are simple and he does know them, then he's the best. And when he plays slow chess, obviously he plays different openings. Maybe 15-minute chess just isn't his game. I know, let's have a spelling contest. All right, so Magnus loses handily.